What's up, and welcome back to another kind of funny screencast live trailer reaction. This time to The Batman, the official trailer last year at DC's first ever Fandome. They revealed the teaser trailer for The Batman, and it looked fucking awesome. But now, in the return to the Fandome, some of us never left. We are getting the official trailer #1 for The Batman. I am Tim Geddes. I'm joined here by the producer / seducer Nick Scarpino.
I am so excited for this. Full transparency, I watched it yesterday by accident on purpose.
Weak.
Because I'm a weak man. I am a weak man. But the interesting thing I want to see how you guys react to this is the tone of it. So the tone of that teaser we got last year was very unique and cool. I'm curious to see how you guys react to the tone of this and what you think of it.
I'm very interested in if this one's not unique and cool. We'll have to see. Kevin is running the show. Both Kevin and I have not seen this yet, so we're gonna see. I held off. I was like, I know that I'm gonna react to this. I want to get my pure reaction, but Nick, I don't blame you, man, because it's hard. It was hard for me to not watch this thing. But you got the call of the bat, the call of the wild.
What happened was and I know we're gonna get into it on my news feed. It popped up and said Robert Pattinson's Batman voice revealed. And I clicked into it before I realized what I was clicking into, accidentally on purpose. And then I was like, oh, this is a full-on trailer.
Oh, yeah.
And once you stop, you just can't stop.
Dude, I get it, man. I get it. And so that's the thing is, of course, here at Kind of Funny, youtube.com/kindoffunny, all the podcast services, we got screencasts for all of your movie and TV needs. We always react to trailers. And of course, we're going to continue to do that. Fandome delivered many, many trailers, and we're going to be reacting to 3 of them here. 5 total if you count the game ones that are already live on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. We got the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League and Gotham Knights. We had Barrett, Blessing, and Timur Hussein reacting to all of those. Those are fantastic. You can find them on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. And now we're about to record The Batman, The Flash, and Peacemaker here on youtube.com/kindoffunny. Very exciting stuff. Nick, are you ready to get right into it?
Let's go.
Kev, you ready?
Yep. Totally ready. I brought up my camera just because I'm kind of stoked now.
Oh, good.
Let's go.
Doesn't take much.
Police! Hands up! Stay still! Get out of here!
Cup of coffee. Oh,
Fear is a tool.
Love
Same song.
this song.
When that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning.
I love that.
Oh, shit.
They just fried that dude's neck.
I've been trying to reach you.
Fire the gun!
This is about a king, and Rither's the match.
I can take care of myself.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Love
it won't
it.
be long before you've nothing left.
Oh, there he is.
I don't care what happens to me.
It's only
Nothing's
gonna get
perfect,
worse for you.
Whoa, take it easy, sweetheart.
Oh, this new Batman theme is so good.
Badass.
Maybe we're not so different.
Oh,
Who are you under there?
I love that.
God, that's so cool.
I'm vengeance.
Muscle car.
What's black and blue and dead all over? You. Take up.
I got you! I got you!
Oh, fuck off.
That is so fucking
Oh my
badass.
That looks wild.
Dude, that title shot, I'm tearing up
So
from fucking
sick.
hype. Holy shit.
So
Whoa,
the ears on the A as it comes down into it. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, so they somehow I love the tone of this. It is somehow dark and gritty and also comic booky at the same time. And I think it just is. I'm just so vibing with what this movie could be.
I mean, dude, I'm loving the use of red. Like, I think that that's kind of the thing that sticks out that makes it kind of feel more graphic novel-y, is that it's not just dark and grounded. There's this like pervasive kind of red that comes out. Like, I mean, all of this stuff as well, but like even just like the lighting, a lot of the fire, a lot of the just kind of vibe of it all, like there's like
It's a very
red
controlled palette for sure.
Yeah, which like compared to the Nolan films, I think they have a lot more of that dark blue kind of like, let's make it feel kind of like, you know, cold and scary. Whereas this is like dark in a bloody way, you know?
Well, man, this is going to be a dark film. Like, this is going to be tonally not happy-go-lucky in any way, shape, or imagination. It's the thing I like about it is it has sort of a grounded feel like Nolan does, but still comic book, still graphic. I guess graphic novel is a perfect way of putting it.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I think you can still have shots that seem like they're real, and then also have stuff like that, right? Which is straight out of a comic book, where it's like Batman and Catwoman, like with the city behind them. And I just feel like I really feel like this is a cool take on this, man.
Yeah, you know, I mean, sorry, Kev, go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, it's crazy. Like, speaking of the aesthetics, it's crazy because it gives me a lot of like Batman the Animated Series vibes, like the way the city looks in the background and stuff like that, and also the way they're playing with the color, the using one solid. It seems like a lot of things are like orange is what we're seeing, orange with the black, or like blue or red, like one color, and then the background's kind of a dull. And like that's such a cool choice
shot right there, by the way.
Yeah.
All this stuff is very.
You're nailing it there. Like that's. I mean, kind of what I was like latching onto. I didn't realize it is that animated series vibe where, you know, everything was very like it started black, and then there would be like colors added to it, and there was a lot of black and red. Like even like the logo, or like at least like the title screen, whatever, of the animated series is very black and red, and then there is the lightning strikes that kind of make it that have that blue as well. What I love about what I'm seeing here, and this was from the last trailer as well, but getting more of the Penguin in this, way more of Catwoman and all that. One of my biggest issues with the Nolan verse as it's finished, as we know it, is that we saw all of Batman's antics on camera. Like, we saw him kind of become Batman. We saw him deal with Ra's al Ghul. We saw him deal with the Joker. We saw him have 7-year break, and then we saw him deal with Bane, and that was it. Like, there was no in between. There were no other stories. Like, we saw it all. I like that this already is building out a world that feels more fleshed out in terms of like there's this gang that like seems clown related. Like, is that Joker? Like, I don't know if it doesn't need to be necessarily Joker, but we get the Riddler, we get the Penguin, we get Catwoman, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be too much because it's kind of just, it feels kind of lived in a way that I like. That's where grounded meets comic book in a way that I appreciate the most.
Right, which is a hard line to skate, right? And that's what I'm feeling about this. Is we've got the last one we watched, I was like, okay, they're going for more of a grounded, gritty feel. But I just think at a certain point you have to push it in. You have to broach the concept that this is a comic book property, and you have to have a little bit of those elements into it. And I think they're managing to get that in here. And I think so then when you have stuff like that, like you're seeing right there, right, which is, for the first time ever, Batman gets shot in this amazing armor that, well, not the first time actually, I guess Ben Affleck got a knife to his armor back in Batman v Superman. But like, I love that we're bringing those elements in here. He's got this armor. There's a shot coming up where someone just unloads an entire clip from an AR into him, and it doesn't hurt him because it's got. That's what this is designed. That's why he wears this armor to go out there and fight people. And then, of course, we got that cool shot where he has like electricity coming from his hand, and he like tases the guy basically. All of those things add into the sort of like, yes, that's creative, but that's also how Batman would be Batman, right? That is how a person with no superpowers becomes the Batman and can do all this stuff. It's also just so brutal looking. Also, I think Zoe Kravitz looks fucking awesome as Catwoman.
She looks incredible. You know, obviously the hallway scenes, like it's coming up here. Yeah, right here. It's like hallway scenes. I think are the kind of easiest way in modern cinema to get across fucking badass. But guess what? I'm not over it yet. Like, it is still the fucking coolest thing. The Vader, Rogue One, Luke and Mandalorian. Let's add Batman to the list. Like, that is incredible. That is fucking cool. It's unlike anything we've seen Batman do before. I'm interested that I have no real idea what the fuck the Riddler's doing in this. Like,
He's a serial killer, apparently.
But it's not the Riddler that we're used to from Jim
it is sure
Carrey,
not.
right? Like, and the Riddler could be such an interesting grounded villain that imagine Riddler in the Nolan verse. We're not getting that, but we're gonna get it here, and I kind of am more interested even in like, well, maybe not more interested if I'm being real. Like, Nolan, I want way more of, but like this seems so cool, like that they're committing to this type of. Like, hey, fuck if this is anything like you've seen before, we're going to make it our own and kind of just stick to it. Like, I like that they're not afraid to be grounded like Nolan, but also comic booky like the animated series, like at once.
And I think that's by design, right? I feel like they have the luxury of being able to look back on a lot of different motion picture interpretations of Batman and taking from all of those what Matt Reeves is going to take from all of those the things that worked and maybe ditch the things that didn't work so much. People really liked the a little bit more of a grounded universe where you could have something like a serial killer happening and treat that with some respect. But then also we have a scene where Batman's flying with his cape around Gotham, and it's like that's hard to get those two elements and they're working. But it looks like he's going to do a comparable job of that.
We'll also love that the Batmobile, it's a fucking car. With like a fucking jet on it, It's like
that's cool.
You said it earlier, Nick, but there's a brutality to it that like I love, and we've seen countless times. Like, this reminds me a lot of Spider-Man, where it's like, sure, we've seen it a million times, but Spider-Man and Batman stand on their own in the sense that like there is not one iconic. It's either this or this take, or I'm not gonna accept it, like we have with Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man. Like, there are multiple Spider-Man that can be, oh, this is the right Spider-Man, that's the right Spider-Man, that's the right Batman, that's the right Batman. I love that immediately, although we've seen this like troubled Bruce Wayne and like Bruce Wayne having to deal with him being Batman and what that means for the people close to him, like Alfred and the various women and whatever around him, seeing these shots, this Bruce Wayne seems troubled.
Really fucked up.
Like, deeply troubled in a way that Christian Bale was as well. But this seems, there's something about him being younger and troubled already that makes it like a little bit more like
dangerous.
Scary, almost dangerous. That's a good word. I
like it. And I gotta tell you, man, I have talked a lot of trash about that Robert Pattinson, and I cannot apologize enough. I think it's working. I'm looking forward to seeing this. I'm not quite sold on the voice. That one time, what he said, the one line in here, I'm like, okay, that seemed a little bit weird and kind of Christian Bale-y, but geez, this just hits on all cylinders for me.
You kept trying to get in there.
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying, like, it's interesting. Like, I'm very excited to find out more about this, but I love how blind I'm going into this, where it's like, I don't know what this has to do with, and like, this is its own universe, right? Like, it's not related to anything that we know. Like, that is really appealing to me.
Elseworld.
And I also like that, like, I feel like there's a lot of Nolan-esque vibes where it doesn't seem like the world's going to be too exaggerated. Like, we're not going to see Mr. Frost running around with like a freeze gun. But like,
I definitely think it's going to be more Nolan than it's going to be Batman v Superman than Snyder, right? And I like that. The question will be, what happens if this succeeds and they decide to do more of them, and then does this become sort of that universe for DC, which I think they've said they're not going to do, right? But who knows?
Well, I think everything's up in the air right now. They're building out. We're about to in a couple of moments from now, real time, about to react to the Flash trailer, which we know the Flash is their multiverse movie. We know that that's kind of tying the DCEU to other established DC movie franchises. But this coming out before then, actually, I doubt that movie's going to relate to this. I do think this is more similar to the Joker. And I think that them kind of like one-offs, but like one-offs that could turn into series. Like I guarantee this movie's going to get a sequel. If it's as good as this leads us to believe it will be, like, I think that this is something that they're going to be wanting to stand away from the DCEU. So it is just in a world, in a universe, in a multiverse that is getting more and more and more reliant on you having seen 60, 70, 100 other movies and TV shows. I think that it is wise of them to want to be like, hey, it's a movie trilogy. We're going old school.
Right. Let's go. Or let's treat this what it is, a Nolan trilogy, a Nolan-esque trilogy, and leave it at that until
Yeah.
they want to make some more money and then they bring it right back.
Oh, well,
This is
hell yeah.
great.
Let us know in the comments below what you think about The Batman, which also, what a fucking dope name.
Also,
what
can we,
wait, yeah,
real
one-
quick
one
though,
last
can
thing.
we go back to him fighting here for a hot second? I just
Where?
love, just like right there is fine, right? I love this shot. This is what they had to nail for me, and they're doing it right here. Boom! Look how fast he's moving in that suit. Look at how good that choreography looks. He looks like Batman. We're not dealing with Batman Begins where they're like, we got to shoot this basically with a macro lens, otherwise it's not. We're not going to sell the fighting in this. They've learned from all the stuff in the past, and hopefully this is the perfect Batman movie.
And then I wanted to have one last thing. Shout outs to Colin Farrell for like the little that we get of the Penguin. Like I'm very interested.
Me too.
It's crazy how I feel like recently he's really gotten into like heavy prosthetics for some of his roles, but he makes it work. Like he must be totally like down to sit in that chair for hours while they stick his whole face on him, But he is really good at like disappearing into characters. We saw in the Gentleman and a couple other movies.
He's a great actor. I mean,
really
Colin
is.
Farrell's a good actor.
Yeah.
I just watched him recently. I've been going through a lot of horror.
Pause it here,
movies
Kev.
with Dee, just kind of showing her some movies that I like. And one of my guilty pleasures is the remake of Fright Night, where he was the vampire in it. I mean, he's just a fascinating person to watch on screen, and kudos to him for taking this, being in those prosthetics. I'm curious how the Penguin moniker is going to come into play and how they're going to play with that.
Yeah.
You think he's just Oswald Cobblepot and call it a day?
I mean, like that's the thing is like I think that they're in a very unique situation here that unlike the 7 other Batmans we've had 7 other Batmans going into this. Like the mainstream audience is way more aware of villains and what it means to be a villain and or like aliases and all that stuff than they ever were before. So I don't think that they need to, in the same way that MJ is Michelle something in Homecoming and not Mary Jane. Like we get it. The audience gets it, And I wouldn't be surprised if they went full in and at some point there's like the reveal that he's the Penguin, or if it's just, if you know. Otherwise, he is just an organized crime
Or he's
boss.
just he's just a boss. That's a good point. That's a good point, and it could be cool either way.
Yeah. One thing that Nick, you were saying you're a little hesitant about the voice. That's never bothered me. I've never been too torn up about any of the Batman voices just because like it's a silly thing. But the one thing I'm worried about is, Kev, if you can go back like 5 seconds here, is this. How are you going to have one of these jail interrogation scene type things like as Batman? You're asking yourself to like, you better be bringing the damn goods, Matt Reeves, because the Batman Joker scene is one of the best movie scenes of all time.
Look, here's what I'll tell you. Our Pat has the stuff. And if there's one person who has proven time and time again, he can be unbelievably, unnervingly scary on screen, or unnerving on screen, it's Paul Dano. Paul Dano is one of the most unique character actors of our time. He's weird as shit, and this is the scene I'm looking forward to most. I want to see their back and forth, very, very badly, and I want to see what this interpretation of the Riddler is going to be because I think he's got the stuff.
Damn, I forgot it was Paul Dano that's playing the Riddler.
Yeah,
That's
come on,
wild.
dude.
Yeah.
He's great.
Let us know in the comments below how excited you are for The Batman in theaters next March. I'm very excited. But till next time, remember, we have a whole bunch more trailer reactions. YouTube.com/KindaFunny/KindaFunny games. Whatever your pleasure is, we got your treasure. That didn't work, but it's okay.
Oh, God.
Whatever your pleasure is, we've got your treasure.